Now, in this segment here, I want to share with you something else on a different topic. You know how raw milk is under attack in America, and in California, for example, they conducted armed raids on the raw milk distribution center known as Rawsome Foods. Well, it turns out that in European countries, they have on street corners raw milk vending machines. In fact, we've got some pictures that we're showing you for those of you watching on prisonplanet.tv. Raw milk vending machines. Now imagine, America, our vending machines churn out aspartame, diet soda, MSG-laced snack chips, and other toxic foods with chemical additives that cause cancer and diabetes and heart disease and dementia and dumb down your brain and make you a victim of the medical enslavement system. That's what our vending machines churn out in America. But in Europe, they have raw milk vending machines. Here's one called the Mlekomat. Mlekomat, that means like automatic milk. Mlekomat. And by the way, if it's perfectly safe, nobody's dropping dead across Europe from getting raw milk from a vending machine. It turns out there are temperature sensors in these machines, and when the temperature drops below or goes above, let's say, the refrigeration level that it's supposed to be at, then the machine just stops selling the milk. So nobody buys spoiled milk. Nobody gets harmed by the probiotics, the friendly bacteria that's in the milk. It's all perfectly normal and natural. But in America, what do? Oh, we criminalize raw milk, and we have toxic poison vending machines known as junk food and diet soda and processed dead factory food. That's what we serve in America. I say, let's replace the junk food machines with raw milk vending machines all across America. How about fresh fruit and raw milk vending machines, superfood vending machines, smoothies in a vending machine for America? Put those in the public schools, and you'll see a revolution of health and abundance and wellness and clear thinking at the same time.
Do you understand how dark it is? How far down the line we are? How late it is?
We've got a guest joining us right now with some breaking news about the Canadian Food Inspection Agency, the CFIA, conducting an armed raid on an Ontario farmer named Michael Schmidt. And this raid happened last week, and this farmer, and by the way, the reason we're covering this story is because this is yet another data point on the pattern of criminalizing farming in North America. It's not just America, it's Canada as well. And Michael Schmidt, whose farm was raided by 20 officers, is now facing, and it was an 8-hour-long raid, he is now facing 14 years in prison for so-called conspiracy charges. And he joins us now by phone to help explain what is going on with the armed raids on farms in Canada. Michael, welcome to the show. You're on the air with Mike Adams here. How you doing?
Hi, Mike. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you too, sir. Please tell us what went down, what's going on, why did they target your farm?
I think this is just part of a much bigger picture here. The story goes back a little bit, and I think you probably remember also the pig slaughtering policy in Michigan.
Sure, yeah,
where they tried to
DNR.
eliminate heritage pigs, so kind of a genetic profiling. Now, we had a case here where there were rare sheep. There was less than 100 left in Canada. The Shropshire sheep, a very valuable heritage breed. And a farmer, and her name is Montana Jones, has been fighting for years and years with the CFIA because they say they have found scrapie. It's a wasting disease, which is not affecting human health at all. Has been found in an animal which is supposed to come from her farm 2 years after she sold it. She is disputing that. However, the policy is kill and shoot first and then ask questions later. So what they decided is to eliminate her entire herd. Okay?
To kill her entire herd.
Because they said we need to humanely euthanize these sheep in order to prove that they're healthy. Now, how schizophrenic is that approach?
Well, I mean, the government has gone insane. So it sounds like par for the course for government today. It's just, I think a lot of people are shocked that this is happening in Canada as well.
Yes. So the story goes further. When they were slated for slaughter, the sheep suddenly disappeared. They went on a lamb. And there was a note found in the barn that the Farmers Peace Corps has taken the sheep into custody, protective custody, until the government has conclusive proof that they are infected with scrapie or an alternative to killing has been found.
So they were, in essence, rescued by the Farmers Peace Corps,
yes,
which said, we have the sheep, and we're not letting you have them until you prove that they actually have this so-called disease that you're claiming, correct?
Exactly. So what the government did is, instead of getting into a dialogue, they released a whole army of investigators and probably spent millions of dollars to find those who are part of that Farmers Peace Corps who rescued these sheep.
And then you posted some kind of a comment that just supported their actions? Is that what happened?
I was very, very supportive prior to that already, because I followed that struggle of Montana Jones.
Yeah.
In regards to trying to get into, to find an alternative to that whole situation. And the CFI says, no, they will be killed. And then the sheep disappeared, and then I think 3 months later, they were found. They got all killed, and all sheep proved to be healthy.
Wow, so there was no disease in them.
Yeah, with no disease. I posted then a video statement on behalf of the Farmers Peace Corps as a liaison for the Farmers Peace Corps, stating that I'm basically coming out on behalf of the Farmers Peace Corps in order to explain the situation, that the same policy had been implemented about 60, 70 years ago in Germany on humans.
Right.
And we are on the same path again, doing a genetic profiling, and who says that it stops with sheep? First of all, I'm potentially will be charged with conspiracy because I'm supposed to be part of it. Charged with conspiracy, criminal conspiracy. The interesting question which needs to be asked, who is conspiring here? Do we have a government who is conspiring to destroy the genetic diversity in our gene pool and just streamlines everything to their liking based on economic principles?
Oh, wow. So this is huge. There's so much here. Okay, we've got the government doing this genetic cleansing of the sheep. Yes. And as you said, maybe it doesn't stop with sheep. I say half the public's already sheep anyway, so they're probably next in line. I mean, obviously not physically sheep, but mentally there's a sheeple mentality, right? So then they're attacking your free speech rights because you came out and said it reminds you of the history of Germany with the ethnic cleansing there, and then they charge you with conspiracy to prevent the government from slaughtering/murdering the sheep that were the private property of this other woman, Montana Jones.
Exactly. Then what I did is, when I sat down with the investigators, I said, you know what, the interesting thing is, we could resolve that quite nicely, where we find, like they do it in England, they have an exemption for rare breeds, that they will not be slaughtered. There will be kind of a quarantine program where they can continue their breeding. If we can sit down and figure that it is much cheaper for the government than trying to hunt everybody down involved in the sheep hides.
Oh, but they'd love to hunt everybody down. That's the new government. That's the new tyranny. Government announces that you're the enemy.
Yeah.
You the farmer, you the guy who wears a John Deere hat, you the veteran, you the patriot, you're the new enemy. They want to hunt you down. They want to charge you with conspiracy. They want to throw you in jail. They don't want you to have the right to farm and have a diversity of animals. That would be freedom.
Exactly. And that is, and the other thing I said, well, you know what? I'm actually not afraid if you drag me into court, because now things which should actually be a public debate or a debate in Parliament is moving into the courtroom, because otherwise it will never be exposed what the policies are from the government, because nobody knows. The newspapers don't report it properly, and so it might as well go on record in the courtroom. And it's painful but it is a necessary step we have to take. We need to drag these things into the court in order that the public knows who is actually the real, is the one who is conspiring against what we need to do in preserving our rights, freedoms, and diversity.
Yeah, well said, Michael. By the way, let me give out a web address here for people who want to learn more. It's farmfoodfreedom.org. farmfoodfreedom.org. Is there another website, Michael, that you want to give out? And
then you can go to another website, which is always up to date. It's the CompletePatient.com.
Sure, thecompletepatient.com. There's also westonaprice.org.
Exactly. And I think it's everywhere right now. You know, everybody covers the story.
Okay, so here's the thing then. So governments now in the U.S. and Canada believe that they have the right to just go out and slaughter animals or demand they be killed, mass killed. In fact, there's another case. Wasn't this covered by Christy Canty in her film Farmageddon?
Exactly.
In the United States. Can you give our listeners a brief background of that? Because I don't remember all the details there.
There was this case of Linda, and I don't know exactly the details, but there was exactly the same thing happening. They were slaughtering all the sheep based on false assumptions, and then it came out. And there, I think if you dig a little bit deeper in the story, you know more details about it. But then it came out that it was simply an internal thing in order to finance an institute, and they needed a justification for the institute by slaughtering and testing these animals.
Yeah.
So when you really look deeper into that, how much corruption is connected to all these regulations which are imposed, and then you find out, well, everybody is lining their pockets, bureaucrats lining their pockets with all these programs, with a total neglect for what we need for our survival on this planet, and that means biodiversity. You know, we're surrounded by GMOs. The same agency which destroys our genetic pool is the one which approves GMOs, and it doesn't give the people the right even to know what they're eating.
No, it's insane, Michael. It's out of control. It's a world gone mad. They're destroying the animals. They're destroying the crops. They're destroying the seeds. They're destroying the soil. They're destroying the minds of the people. They're destroying our future. It is a world gone mad. And that film, by the way, Farmageddon, that does expose some of that, is available at the InfoWars store, which I believe is just InfoWarsStore.com, or just go to Infowars.com. Michael, we're about to wrap up the segment with you. Any final thoughts before we let you go there?
Well, the final thought I have is, unless we prepare to suffer ourselves or sacrifice, our own freedom, we will never win this battle. And people need to understand that complacency and fear is not anymore the place where we are right now.
That's right.
We need to step forward.
Well said. Michael Schmidt, thank you for joining us today on The Alex Jones Show. Stay with us.